with all the artists. There was a hangar in Ethiopia, and we had an organization. We have some branch of the organization in Ethiopia, so I was sent there to Ethiopia. But that time, Ethiopia was under communist rule, and this organization was a no-go area, and it has to be an underground thing, because if they see you teaching anything about religion and anything like this, you will be arrested. And some of our members were put in jail before I was sent to Ethiopia. So I stayed in Ethiopia for a while. I was supposed to take a lady who was also a member, whose brother was an activist and was arrested and put in jail. So they were targeting to arrest the sister too. So I was supposed to go and move her out of Ethiopia to Nairobi, to Kenya, and then finally we take her out of Africa. You know, we were. My life is full of so many wonderful things, and I don't really like talking about everything, but I'll just share some part of it. So we met, but we were meeting very secretly, because it was believed that there were spies everywhere. So I couldn't take her out, but then I need to go out and to leave Ethiopia quickly. So I left Ethiopia for Bombay, India. And then from Bombay, I took a train all the way to Calcutta, where the headquarters of the organization was. And then from Calcutta, I was sent to Ahmedabad and to Varanasi, where they have their training center in a castle. It's an old Muslim Mughal castle. So I was trained there into becoming a monk, and also become an activist, and someone who will fight for the truth all the time. We were trained to be forefronting for people who are being taken advantage of. So that's how and then I passed out as a priest, and then a monk. I was ordained, and I did Sanskrit and all this, and later they wanted me to teach at the training center. So I taught at the training center maybe for about 2 or 3 months, and then eventually I came back to Calcutta, to the headquarters, and I was a radical. Yeah, I was a very stubborn kind of person. I don't listen to. When I realize that you are not honest, I cannot listen to you. So at the training center, or when I came back to the headquarters, my superiors found my behavior like I tried to challenge them when I see something that didn't go very well with me. So they decided to send me to a very difficult field, which was Bangkok. And then I became the regional priest, regional secretary, they call RS. I became the regional secretary of Bangkok, Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. So I was the priest there. And then there were so many activities also that came across my way, and I didn't really like it. Then I began to fall out from the organization, because what I thought the organization was not what I was receiving. Maybe other people received something better, but for me, because I was already open, my mind was already open, so I don't just follow blindly. The organization was a very good organization and all kind of things, but there were some human activities that disturbed my peace. So I later decided to break away. And already I know how to do magic. before going to the training center. Even when I was at the training center, I was during our entertainment time, I do magic. I create my own props, and then I do magic for them. So, and most of the magic I did those days, even our teachers didn't understand what it was, because a lot of people have this idea that magic is spirituality. So when I did so many things, and a lot of people did not understand that I do know what I was doing. So when I left the organization, there was this Chinese girl who was very much fond of me, and she wanted to help me, so she became my manager, and she looked for magic shows for me. But I was not that professional. I know how to perform magic, but I don't know how to perform magic in front of many people and become perfect, or be showmanship and all this things. So when I started, I performed my first magic in one guy's club. His name was Shop. He was a very handsome guy, a Thai guy. And when he saw me perform magic, he liked me. Then he realized that I need some more things. So he took me to some magicians in Thailand who were his friends, and introduced me to them. Is it? No, Podge. It's not Chop. Podge. And then and they also accepted me, and they started training me. And finally, I ended up with a magician called Mr. Superman, and Superman trained me very well. So the magic I do today mostly was the magic that Superman had trained me with. And then there was the elderly magician who was the top of the magicians in those days, Mr. Chanai, also gave me some magic props I bought from him, and I still have them today. So this is how my spiritual journey had been. It's been a very long journey. So I became a professional magician now, and I was performing in the nightclubs. I used to follow Superman. After some time, when he gets some extra shows, he let me perform. And I was the only black man in Thailand in those days who was performing magic alongside the Thai people and some Filipinos and some white people. So I was doing all this, all that, but still my spirituality was there. I was still practicing what I thought was spirituality. I was practicing Kabbalah. I was practicing a whole lot of things, but I wasn't actually practicing African traditional spirituality, because I did not have any idea from my childhood idea that I had that my grandfather was Amaredova. So I didn't have a very clear view or idea about African traditional spirituality. So I slowly, when I had been doing magic and all this, I had an opportunity. I was performing in a hotel, one of the top hotels in Thailand, called Dusit Thani Hotel in Bangkok. I was performing magic there, and then some Japanese, they saw my show, and they wanted me to come to Japan for 6 months to perform in their nightclubs. So my manager, who was a Burmese from Burma, now they call it Myanmar, was an old film director who left Burma because of the revolution and came to settle in Thailand. And he was promoting me, taking me from place to place, gave me shows to do. Slowly I became this. And then when the Japanese saw me and they discussed with him, he asked me if I would go. And I said I would go. I was having a video camera. Those days we have a very big size of video camera that I used to cover other people's shows and this, and make some small money for myself. And I was also helping the Nigerians and Malians who were coming to Thailand to sell stones, precious stones, so aquamarine, tanzanite, sapphire, emerald, ruby, and all these things. So I know a little bit about these things too. So I even, to a point, I had a small factory in Thailand. We were cutting the stones that we can also buy after we introduce them to factories, and they give us our 5% commission. We also buy stones and we cut into. I still have some of those jewelry stones that were cut in those days. So I had this big camera that I used to help to film video people's this. In those days, video was not that so common. It was not like this. So I pawned the video camera. I put it in the pawn shop. I don't know whether you know what is a pawn. Okay, I pawned the video camera and I took money. I added to some other money I had, and I bought ticket. Then I left for Japan. But all along this time, Kunyuari became my friend. Those days, she was also just starting, and a lot of people were going to her. So I had a lady friend called Kate. Her name was Kate. She was the one who took me to the first time. And then from there, we became friends for all these years, even before going to Japan. And Kunyuari told me that when I go to Japan, I will not get any money. The day I will be coming back, I will only have $500 in my hands. I thought it was a joke. I went to Japan to work for 3 months. When I got to Japan, the day I got to Japan, the emperor, the old emperor, Emperor Hirohito, became sick. The one who fought the Second World War with Hitler, who joined hand with Hitler to fight the Second World War, Hirohito. He was sick, and he was the emperor of Japan. He cannot be sick and anybody will have any entertainment. So the people who contracted me before coming to Japan, are people still watching? So the people who contracted me before I came to perform in Japan, they couldn't handle it anymore because they were supposed to be paying me $80 a day for my 3 months. And then when I go, I will go out and come back another 3 months, because those days Japan will give you visa for 90 days. So after the 90 days, you have to go out and come back again with another 90 days. That was the arrangement. So my contractors, people who contracted me, couldn't pay me, and I was stranded. So I had to find my own way. So I thought, okay, I'll also go and look for some factory. Because that time, Ghanaians and Africans were coming to Japan and they were looking for factory jobs. And there were a lot of factories in those days. It's not like today when people are too many. So I also wake up with people and go to look for a factory job, but nobody was taking me. I was too skinny. People look at me, I cannot work because the factory work was very tedious. So I was only depending on the money that I had with me, and it was getting finished. It was getting finished, and I didn't have any other resources to do anything, and I was planning to go back to Thailand. Then there was this African diplomats in Tokyo, and the Japanese parliamentarians were forming a group called African Japan Friendship Association. If you look into my teens. Their first magazine is still somewhere in my teens. So they were forming this thing, and the Japanese had the people going to play the shamisen and the koto. Shamisen is the Japanese guitar with three strings. I don't know if you go into the internet, you see what is shamisen, Japanese shamisen, and then the koto is the Japanese. What did you call it? Harp. Is the Japanese harp. So they were going to, that's a shamisen. Plenty of them. Sometimes they use snake skin to make them. I think the one of them here is snake skin. You will find the one they use. Yes, they use a python skin. This one. So very interesting. So you see, they use snake skin. So the Japanese were having someone to come and play the shamisen, and then the koto. Koto is the harp. It's a long this here, and they play it on the ground. So the African diplomats, they don't have any African art to present. They had no African cultural art to present. Then the guest house that I was living in, which was called the English guest house, there was a gentleman who speaks English called Yoshi. He took over an old house and converted it into a guest house for we black people. So it's only black people who stayed there. One white man, two people who were poor, white people who were poor. They come and hang around us. Because in one room we were about 8 or 9 people inside one room. It's fine. We don't have problem. Where you can sleep and wake up is what matters. So there is this gentleman, Samson. He died not too long ago. He used to play for Kotoko, but he moved to Japan and was already learning Japanese and with his wife and everything. So he heard about me that there's a magician who lives in that guest house. He was not in that guest house. They were already living their good life. So they came and consulted me and asked me if I would love to perform for the African group, for the diplomats, or to play the part. So I have this friend from Tanzania. We were living in Thailand together, called Ali Isa Shunda. He too was in the guest house with me, so we decided that I said that he should be my assistant. So the day came, we went to the event at one of the top hotels, and then the emperor that was sick, his cousin, also came to represent the royal family, because of the Africa-Japan Friendship Association. So it was a really great team. So they performed the koto and the shamisen finished, then they get to we the Africans to perform. So I put my music and I started performing. And I did a magic that most people haven't seen before. I swallow a thread and then I cut my body and I give it to Ali to be pulling it out of my belly, and everybody was like, then the emperor's cousin came and he looked at the thing and then he removed his glass. Maybe his glass was deceiving him. He watched it and he put the glass back. So by the time I finished my performances, Fakir art, everybody was so surprised. Then the Ghana embassy asked me to come to the embassy. That time there was the ambassador, Mr. Amisa, and he invited me to come to Ghana embassy. So I went. So when I went, he asked me whether I have any permit to work in Japan. I said no. Then I told him how I came to Japan. I was contracted to come, but the people, because of the emperor's sickness and all this thing, I couldn't. So even at the event, the emperor's cousin told us that if the emperor gets well, he would invite me to the imperial palace to perform for the emperor, but that time never came because the emperor finally died. So then Ambassador Emisa decided that you write a letter on Ghana's embassy's letterhead, gave it to me to take it to the immigration, that I was the cultural ambassador of Africa, so they should give me a permit to display my art and my talent. And then I went, and then I was given a permit in Japan to perform so that nobody would stop me. And they also gave me a manager, was a Japanese Korean guy. He became everybody calls him a sensei, means teacher. He has his own factory and all these people. So he became my manager, and he took me around clubs, and I was performing, and I was making some money. So my journey in my spirituality, this is what happened. And slowly I was growing, and I was becoming popular. Then I left Japan. Then I went to Thailand because my visa was finished. So I had to go back to Thailand. The day I got to Thailand, what Voncujovi told me, I was only having $500 in my hand. After all these plenty shows that I did. So then I myself, I was laughing because I realized that what she said was the truth. So Voncujovi is someone, when she can see, she can see very, very far. Even she can see 50 years ahead and tell you, if you don't believe it, fine. If you can live up to that time, you will see whatever she has said was true. So slowly, I came back. I came to Japan, and then I went back to Japan after Thailand. I went back to Japan. Now I went there on my own because I know I have people who support me. So when I went now, I started to perform, and then advertisement companies and television stations and other people start to hear about me, and I started performing on TV, and I was also holding workshop classes for African dance and also Ewe drumming classes and all these things. So it was through this Ewe African drumming classes that I met my wife, Cheko, who became my wife. So it's a whole lot of journey, but it's my destiny. That's how it has brought me. So after all these years in Japan, I became a superstar, and I was everywhere and all big events, and I was among the top performance in Japan and the television and all magazines. Books were even written about me, and all the magazines were written about me and all that. Then eventually, when I got married to Chieko, I came back to Ghana after almost how many years? I left Ghana in 1984, and I came back to Ghana in I think I came back to Ghana in about 1987. Yeah, I think I came back to Ghana in 1987. And then I went back to Japan. And from there I came to Philippines. And then I have a very good friend in Philippines, and then I started performing magic in Philippines. Also, I was also in performing in Malaysia and Singapore. All these places I was just performing my magic as an entertainer. So when Senna and Pele were born, initially I told my in-laws that I'll stay in Japan until they die before I come back home, because I don't want to take their daughter away, because she's their only daughter. So, but then somewhere along the way, my in-laws told us that they are reading about Ghana and they saw that Ghana is developing. So it will be good for us to go back to Ghana, so that during the developing time, so that we get integrated into Ghana before the gates will close. Because if everything is already done and you come in, you can't survive. That's usually when an economy of a country start growing. These are the things you have to settle and establish yourself. So that's why we came back and set up a photography laboratory, and we started doing photography and all these things until I slowly go back into my traditional spirituality. And I remember that I've been coming to Ghana once every year. I'll come and stay for about 2 months, 3 months, and then go back. So during those days, I was contacting African traditional spiritualists, and I was learning things. And one of my teachers was Professor Dizzy, who was in Tema at that time, and he taught me a lot of. He was also into Kabbalah and other things, so it helped me. So slowly, I was able to come back to tradition. And then looking at all the spiritual practices from Christianity through yoga, through all these things, Kabbalah and everything, I came to realize and come to a complete understanding that African traditional spirituality is the best, because it's very practical. It is a formula-based practice. And if you have the patience to practice it and wait, you get to a stage where you can be able to do things, and people will say you are powerful. So this is my long and a short journey into spirituality, and this is how I started and getting to know other spiritualists. I also got scammed by so many other African spiritualists, people who were not actual spiritualists but were just scammers, but they have a very good art. They perform it and make you to think that they are spirituality. But I'm a person, until I see the bottom of something, I don't give up. I am always willing to spend the money to see the bottom, to see the truth. And once I see the truth, and if it is not what I want, I pull myself out. So was this dwarf thing that we have been following for 13 good years at that time. Was all game, and was one of my friends who actually set me up with the mind to be extorting money from me. But it's all lessons, and it's my destiny to learn all those things. Now I know, and my children and my students cannot be deceived anymore. So anyway, that's my short answer, and my long and short answer to your question, how I came into spirituality.
But you just spoke about dwarfs. Are dwarfs real?
Yes, dwarfs are real. I have seen a dwarf by myself, not with anybody. I saw a dwarf in the bush by myself, not with anyone. I alone.
What did it look like?
At that time, I didn't know what dwarfs were, because I was still young. I was quite young, but I saw the thing was moving on like a elephant. That's what I call it at that time, because the thing has tusk and was short, and there was this guy dressed in Catholic mass boys clothing, red and white and long red and long red and white on top, like a apron or whatever. And I saw the thing, and I didn't know what it was, but I saw it was passing, so I chased it to find out what it was. But unfortunately, I couldn't get it. I ran to cross it, but I couldn't find it anymore. So dwarfs are real, but then there are also so many people who have got tricks under their sleeves, and they are deceiving people and telling people that they have dwarfs. Yeah.
So, Papa, about voodoo, now you are a voodoo priest. After all these experiences through yoga, Kabbalah, you are now a voodoo priest. And people fear voodoo a lot. Is voodoo something that should be feared? Why do
No,
people
but
fear it?
everything in life has two sides to it. It has its good side and bad side. It's just like you have a knife. Knife is knife something to fear? Somebody will say no, but another person will say yes. Because when you have a knife, you can use it to kill. You can use it to attack people. You can use it to do bad things. But at the same time, this same knife, you can use it to make food. You can use it to clear the road for you to go to somewhere. You can use it to do many good things. So the knife by itself has no problem. It's just the same like the gun. You can use a gun to go and kill an animal and bring food home. The same thing, you can use a gun to kill a person. So it is not the gun or the knife or voodoo that is bad. It is the person who is holding it or the person practicing it. If the person is a wicked person by nature, when voodoo is in their hand, they will use it for evil. But if the person is a good person and learn from a good teacher, then of course if they learn voodoo, they will use it to help humanity than to use it to attack people. So voodoo is not bad. It's not a voodoo, but the person who practices the voodoo is a person who we have to look at whether a person is a good person or a bad person. So by voodoo, the fear that people have around voodoo is because a lot of people use it for evil.
So, Papa, these voodoos are entities.
Yes.
Energies of their own.
Nature.
And do these voodoos have minds of their own?
Of course, if they are entities, even dog in your house has mind of its own. How much more entities that are higher than dogs or human beings, sometimes I may say. They have their own mind, they have their own decision, but they are also willing to work with people. If you are a very wicked and a very bad man, then those kind of negative ones will want to work with you. But if you are a good person and you have a good mind, the good ones will want to work with you. Because in nature, there is nothing actually that is wrong. Everything has its own understanding. God did not create anything to be bad. To you, it may be bad, but to somebody, it may be good. So in nature, everything is a balance. There is nothing good and there is nothing bad. It is who is handling it that makes it bad or makes it good. So the voodoos have their own mind. And if you are a very wicked type of person, you will find those kind of voodoo who will be willing to work with you. And then you can destroy things very easily. But when you look at such people, their life, they are not progressive. They may say this person is very powerful and everybody is afraid of the person. But when you look at the person's life, you will realize that they are not very, really happy people. They only put fear into people and maybe they themselves at sometimes.
So, Baba, are you saying that there are voodoos that are wicked voodoos?
No. There is no voodoo that is wicked. There's nothing in nature that is bad. But if you are having a bad mind and you want to use, yes, there will be energies that you can, because for them, they don't take responsibility. Whatever you ask them to do, they do, but the responsibility doesn't come on the spirit or the voodoo. It comes on you, the person who used them. So for them, they are not thinking it's bad or it's good. It's you who send them to go and do the work. And they did what you want them to do. That's why it is said that when you say that a voodoo should do something for you, and after the voodoo has accomplished your task and you regret, the voodoo will kill you. Because it's you who asked them to do it and they did it. And now you are regretting, means you are putting blame on them as if they took the initiative. It's just like a war. You want to go to war. If you are the one who took the initiative to initiate the war, the blame comes on you. Whether you you win or lost, the blame will be on you. Yeah. So let's go back to the questions and the greetings. I think somebody's question, I think Kunyuari also is sharing the live over there. Thank you very much, Kunyuari. I'm grateful. And then somebody say, what is the advantage of Afar? What advantage Afar have over the mirror? There is no advantage. The mirror is also on its own. It can also call all the Afar Odus. So there is no advantage. I don't compare them. Let's move on. You already kept sharing the DC. And then we have Maria Pottis. It says, Maria Pottis sent us Heart Me ×1. Thank you very much, Maria. And then Maria became the number 8 fan in the fan club. And then you said, what is this flash? I still can't. Explosive
emoji.
Explosive images. So when someone is highly protected, what does it mean? I am not very sure what they mean by somebody being highly protected. Maybe, that is only maybe, it is from whoever is saying that that person is highly protected. It's from their viewpoint. I cannot tell and say who is highly protected. But on the physical plane, if you say somebody is highly protected, like the president is highly protected because he has a lot of security people around him that will make sure that if anything wants to happen, they are even ready to take a bullet for him. So you can say that it's highly protected. But when you go on the spiritual field and say somebody is highly protected, then it depends on who is saying so, because you can never know who is highly protected or who is not highly protected. Everybody is protecting themselves anyway. Then we have a son of Gapo. Togbe, please throw more light on reincarnation. Okay, Gapo, son of Gapo. It's a reincarnation in Ewe culture. It is there. That's why we give names to people like Ame Tepe or Tepe. It's one of the common names that we'll say when somebody has reincarnated. And then, of course, sometimes they give names of your ancestors or people who died, and when they come back, they give their name. People believe that they come back, they give their names to people. And in Akan also, they have the word Ababio, which means he has come back again, whether he or she. And then also in Yoruba, we have what we call the Tunde, means it has come back again. So in our West Africa traditional spirituality, there is the belief and the knowledge that our ancestors sometimes come back to reincarnate. Thank you very much. And then we have a son of Togbe, please throw more light on reincarnation. Okay, that's what I just talked about. And then we have Abena Safoa say, greetings, hello, how are you? I told you to send me a message, but you didn't. I hope you are still watching. Thank you very much. I hope you are fine. Good evening to you. Are we in the evening or in the morning?
It's morning.
Oh, yeah, now. Okay, good morning to you. Yeah. Please, when you do like this, something cover, or if you don't move the cursor, it covers this thing. And then Joseph Chris said, please, my question is that all rich men sacrifice human beings or human blood for wealth or succeed. I have never met anybody sacrificing any human being before. So I cannot really answer that question because there are so many people who are rich and they don't get rich because they sacrifice human beings. They may get rich because they have connections. They have opportunities. But the poor person who cannot get that kind of opportunity will always slander these people, give them bad names by saying that they sacrifice human beings. Whose human being did they sacrifice? You know, you cannot answer that question because you don't know whose human being has been sacrificed. And who say that in Voodoo they sacrifice human beings? You see, most of the time when they see a Voodoo priest or a Voodoo priestess saying that they kill a human being, some of these things come from people who are looking for quick money. Because people who believe that they will not work, but they can go to a spiritualist and then money will be double for them so that they become rich. Even sometimes it's not even double. They just go and buy things and they tell them they can become rich without working. And when these so-called spiritualists, who are not real spiritualists in the first place, they are just scammers, continue taking your money to some point. But when they realize that you have no money to give again, and you're still demanding that they should give you your money back, they are going to set you up and tell you to bring a human being or go and kill somebody. They themselves are the one going to put the police around. And or they will say bring a human being, like that gentleman who came from abroad, and the priest have chopped all his money, and they told him to bring one of his children, and that very day they were keeping the police and everything in there so that they can arrest him. Because once police arrest you, or somebody say, oh, you brought a human being to be killed, your case is finished at that shrine, in the sense that you cannot blame the shrine anymore. You are the one they caught, and they'll send you to jail. And that priest who has cheated you or has taken advantage of you will go scot-free. So Voodoo priests do not kill human beings. Maybe some people may do that, but that is not the practice. I have not seen anybody killing anyone and becoming successful. If it is so easy, I believe everybody would have been doing it. I don't think so. Anyway, that's me. I don't think so. And then we have Samuel Omenka giving us a hearts and clap. And then Son of Gapo, I have done your work already. And then we have Snow Bunny that shared the live, and then Tony B sent a rose flower ×2. Tony B became the number 9 fan in the fan club, and Tony B sent us another heart me ×1. Thank you very much, Tony B. And Tony B says, you are awesome. Oh, thank you. And Tony B also sent love you so much ×1. And Tony B also sent pop up ×1. Oh, so many gifts that are coming. Then Tony B sent a glow stick ×1. He also sent us a cake slice ×1. And wink wink ×1. And GG ×3. All coming from Tony B, and sending another you are awesome ×1. Then Son of Gapo will say, please throw more light on reincarnation is what I've just done already, Son of Gapo. And then we have Mwabi say, good morning, Papa. I was just checking if you are live as promised. Yes, I am live. Thank you, Mwabi. How are you? Thank you very much. And then we have Adrian Soyas sharing the live. And then Smart Key Gray greetings. Hello, Kojo. How are you? Are you back to Accra? If you are back, let us know. Thank you very much for this. Smart Kid Gray sending us heart me ×1. And then humility precede la, also following the host. Move up, let's see. And then Ibobo saying good morning, sir. Hello, Ibobo, good morning. And they say, can you check something for me? I don't do reading or divination on my program. If you want a divination to be done, you would have to book an appointment for it. Thank you. Then Francis Foreman said, please, I need help. Hello, Francis. Please, our number is in our profile. Call the number and book an appointment for consultation. Then Treasure Gold says, can you reply to me? Treasure Gold, what did you say before we can reply to you? Because I was telling a story about my spiritual life. Thank you very much for joining there. You see, and then we have Maria Maria Potis, ×1, sending us a rose flower ×6. Thank you, Maria Potis. We are very grateful for everything and for all of you for being here. And then Maria Potis 1 again sent another rose flower ×7. And then we have a cooling break sending us rose flower ×1. And then we have Koshab and other people following the host. Okay, we have Stylish who is saying good morning, Stylish. And then we have Koshab Farms and what is that? Supply sending us love. We are grateful. And then Logic, I am saying Papa, hello, Logic, you are here. Thank you. Thank you. And then we have Sweet Sadi again. Varanasi is one of the strongholds of Indian spirituality. Yes, that's where I was trained. That's the home of, it's like the Mecca of Hinduism. That's where I was trained. Thank you very much, Sweet Sadi. And then the Dr. Jamaica does not sending us laughter. And then Kwesi Lyrics is a good evening, Kwesi. Then Dr. Jamaica does not say they were teaching the fish how to swim, maybe. And then the last hero is where are you located? We are in Ghana, in Accra, on the Spintiel Road. And then we have Ezekiel say, hi, it's good. Okay, thank you very much, Ezekiel. And then we have Diha, said musical instrument, harp. Yes, that is the koto in Japanese, harp. Then sir, I want to know, what does it mean when you dream you are walking with a snake in your dream? I am not very sure what it means, because many people have different interpretation of dreams. But if you want to get more idea and knowledge about what that dream means, you should consult people who are dream interpreters. Or better still, you can also consult with a spiritualist who can do a reading for you or do a spiritual consultation for you to explain, or the spirit world should tell what that dream is. And then we have Chuchua Arab say, your story is a great inspiration to spirituality. The universe, let me see. The universe continues to guide us. Yes, thank you very much. It is very inspirational. It's a whole lot of a journey that I had gone through, but that's what my destiny chose for me. And then we have PK say, why do people's destiny doesn't unfold physically, and sometimes they go into their graves? If you look for your destiny to unfold for you, you see it unfolding. If you sit down and put your legs between your legs and think that your destiny will just unfold for you, so it shall be. But if you move and you make effort to find out why you are here on this earth, you will definitely find people who will guide you and teach you. But if you think that there is God in the skies and you are waiting to go to heaven and meet him, so shall that also be for you. People who want to see their destinies unfold make physical efforts to make it unfold. Thank you very much, PK. And there's Alex Virus Media say, good morning, sir. Good morning, Alex. How are you? Then Alex Virus Media say, why is it that people you grow up with suddenly change when luck faces them? They hardly help. I don't know. I don't know why. And then Alex Virus say, at Alex Virus Media, is there any secret? I don't know. I don't know. Spirituality is a whole lot of a book you have to. Nature by itself is a book you have to study and know. Because if you don't study nature, You can never know. Then we have Agnes saying, hi, Papa. Hello, Aggie. How are you? Thank you very much for joining the section. Hope you are still here. And then somebody's name is Pick a Point GH. Hi, good morning, sir. Good morning to you too. And then Pick a Point GH is a good work. Keep it up. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And then Pick Point G is a very educative. I'm very grateful that I am able to make some impact on your life. I'm grateful. Thank you very much. Okay, so that's the end of it. We don't have any questions on Facebook, right? Okay. Okay, maybe because people didn't know we were out there. And our products for which you are seeing on Facebook, our soap, our fumigation, the aura enhancing soap, fumigation, the attraction oil, and then the sleep, what do they call it? Talisman for you to be able to have proper sleep. All these things are ready and they are about to go. So I'm only waiting for the package to come. I went to they informed me that it came today. I went there, but they gave me something different, and I came back. But once the package arrived, those of you who have placed orders, your orders will be going to you. So very soon, you will get your attraction, aura enhancing soap, your pomade, your fumigation, and all this will get to you. So thank you very much, everybody. We are. You have some question again?
Yes, but okay. In connection to the attraction oil and aura enhancing soap, is this package. But from your years of experience, what kind of voodoos do you think everyone should have as someone who wants to practice voodoo?
Oh, for me personally, I go for voodoos that can enhance my aura, bring good luck my way for me and my children, voodoos that can attract money, let me call it, voodoos that can attract money. When I say attracting of money, it's not like sitting in the house and money is coming and falling in your in front of you. That whatever you are doing, the work that you are doing, if you are selling water, the voodoos should, the voodoo that will let people see you and buy your wear or buy your goods. So any voodoo that can attract customers for whatever I am doing. If I'm a soccer player, I should be able to have a voodoo that when I am playing, I can play well so that people who are looking at me can say, oh, that's a good player. Let's give him this contract. So anything that attracts good things towards you are the kind of things that I go for. The second one is voodoos that can protect me so that when people are attacking me, they cannot destroy me. Yes, attack will come, but I should be able to buffer it so that I should cushion it so that even though it comes to me, it will not destroy me. These are the two types of voodoos that I am interested in. Yeah. And voodoos that will open up my mind to know more.
So, Baba, one of the main attraction voodoos of your shrine is voodoo Akai.
Yes.
Please, can you tell us a bit about something?
Akai is just a voodoo that is an attraction voodoo, but it's also a protective or defensive voodoo. Attraction, Akai is all herbs are like any other voodoo with a special oil mixed with it. And when you wear Akai oil, you are supposed to be attracting people. People should see you. And, you know, when I got Akai was actually being made for prostitutes. The teacher who taught me Akai, people come to him, prostitutes come to him to get the oil, so they wear it before going out. Call girls so that they can attract men for their business. But when I got Akai, I tuned it into business, not into only attracting male or female partners, but I tune it to be able to attract other good things. So Akai on my side had always attracted other things than just man and woman relationship things. I remembered even, our shrine at Hohoe. There was this lady who was Togbe Afachao's wife's niece. Her name was Sadia. And she was a call girl. And I made a kind for her. She asked me, not that I made a kind, I just gave her the Akai oil. When we were there at one time, and I gave her the Akai oil, and she went, and it was like, wow, things started happening. Even to the point that she even attracted other people in the shrine. Yeah, so that's how this thing is. And Akai has been a defensive Voodoo. Has brought a lot of good things into my life over the years. I was once involved in a boat accident in the Philippines on the Coco Beach. We were coming back from the Coco Beach when our boat had a problem, and it was Akai who came to our aid, and everybody was safe. We were not drowned. So it's not only an attraction spirit, but it does a whole lot of things. So when the oil, you have a kind oil and you are using it, you can be sure that whatever you are trying to attain or achieve in business or whatever you are going, he will be around you to bring good things to you.
So, Papa, the oil in the package is coming from a kind?
Yes, of course. The oil that is Akai oil is coming. The Akai soap is coming. So they are all aura enhancing and attraction. When you use the soap, first we are going to also send a herb that a person will bath for about 7 days or 1 day. They will bath it, and then to cleanse whatever had been around you that has been preventing you from making a progress. Then after that, you start to use the soap, the fumigation, and the oil. And before you know, things will start. You have to have experience. Everything in our traditional spirituality is experience. It is not just you say it and it must be, you have to experience it to know it. Because it's like the sweetness of the pudding is in the eating. Whether the taste of a pudding is, until you eat it, you don't know whether it is tasty or it's not tasty. So people cannot describe it until they try it and experience it.
So, Baba, about tuning Voodoo to do what you wanted to do for you, like you said, Akai initially was used by call girls, but you tuned it towards business side. How do you do that?
Oh, because Voodoo, when you get a Voodoo, whatever you are telling it is what it will do. If you are telling the Voodoo to destroy people, it will be destroying people, because you will become the Voodoo's partner and master. So whatever you are directing it to do, that's what it will do. If you are directing it to be doing very little things, it will do a little thing. Because I have set factories, whole factories, I mean, a big factory where they were exporting about 20 containers a month with a kind for people in Thailand. Yes. It's a factory, they were making wooden toys, and they were exporting to Germany and to America. But the factory was only exporting 1 container in a month. But when I did set up the factory with Akai, the factory just boosted, and they opened other factories and opened other branches. Within a year, things were happening seriously. They were sending about 20 containers to outside Thailand every month. And it was a big deal. It wasn't a small thing I'm talking about. Banks were giving loans to the factory because they were performing well. So if you have a Voodoo, you have to tune it to what you want it to do for you. But if you want it to be doing bad thing, okay, see like Togbe Avlapo that we have. A lot of people who have Togbe Avlapo only wanted to use it to harm other people. Or say, oh, your head should pain you, and then they'll just mention the secret name of the somebody's head, and the person's died. Then they are happy that they are able to do that. Or they say a person should fall down, or you should miss a step, and then there's a word inside. You say the person will fall down. Then people are happy. But what do I use Avlapo for? I use it to heal people. Because the Voodoo has a healing side, but if you are the other side, which is like somebody's head should pain them, their stomach should pain them, or they should fall down, or their heart should cease to beat, is for a situation where you have no other choice and death is staring you in the face. When I say death is staring you in the face, it means people attack you. Or you are in a battlefield where you have no other way than to find a way to escape. That's when you use those kind of things. But you are not in that battlefield, and you are not confronting anything. Why do it for fun? So a Voodoo, a spirit of nature, will do whatever you want them to do. It depends on you, the master, to tune it according to your... I don't know whether you have seen guitar before. Mm-hmm. When you buy a guitar or a piano, if you want it to be play a very good sound and be high, you need to tune the strings. And then when you touch it, you see that when you combine the strings, it makes good music. But if you did not tune it well, it will not play the kind of music you want to hear. So it is with entities in nature. It does the same thing with everything in nature. If you want things to work for you, you have to tune them to your way. Even if you have a wife or you have a husband, it is up to you to direct and tune your wife or your husband so that the two of you can have understanding, a common understanding. Otherwise, the husband will be going this way, the wife will be going this way. But if there is a proper tuning between the two of you, then you can go on one way, and your life will be seen as people outside will see you as a perfect couple. But if you don't tune your partner towards the way you want things to be, it will not be. So in life, whether in this life of spirits or in physical life, you need to find a way to tune whatever you want to be in harmony with you. Yeah. So spirits also, when you have spirits, you have to tune them to what you want. Zibizaba is there. You tune it for business. People use Zibizaba, or what do you call it, Gabara, attraction to call woman from far to come to you. But that's not the only way. Our Gabara is only used to tune to get business. But in the olden days, maybe the purpose was only to be able to call somebody from far away to come to you. If somebody is missing and they can't find the person, Gabara can bring the person, if you know how to tune it. But most of the time, people just use it for these small things of a girlfriend, boyfriend, and all this thing. But every spirit can do big things if you know how to tune them. So Akai can do even to the point that when they say that Senna, the mother can never give birth to this. But when I told Akai said I shouldn't worry. He will bring us a son. And that's what Senna we are saying today. So what can't he do? If he can bring a soul to be born and to be on a spiritual path as I wanted, why won't it do any other thing? Okay, I think we have to take some questions here, and then I think PK was saying, PK was saying the answer you gave has hit me hard. I need to work physically on making my destiny unfolding. Yes, of course. You have to work on it. If you don't work on your destiny, don't expect it to unfold. In Ewe, we say, to work destiny is not an easy task, but before your destiny can work for you, you have to work it out. Okay, let's move up again. Pick a point, say you are to stick forward, you are too strict forward when it comes to issues. May our ancestors give you more knowledge. Thank you very much. I'm very grateful. Pick point GH. And then we have Chat Diva saying good evening, Chat Diva. And then we have may our ancestors give you unstoppable power, strength, good health in long and prosperity. I'm grateful to you, and the same. May the ancestors you give you the same. Then Chat Diva say, oh. Then Chat Diva say, but traditionally it was lovers and gaining favor, right? Yes, even it may be lovers. It's not like traditionally. The person who was holding it, that's what he was using it for. Traditionally, it can be anything. Your imagination is the limit. So it can be, traditionally, it is not limited to that. That's what the person who gave it to me, that's what he was using it for. But traditionally, I have changed it and tuned it into something different. And then pick a point is saying, how much is the oil? Yes, that's what we are about to decide. We want the package to come, and then we will do it. But we are thinking of $30. About $30, $35. We are not very sure yet, but it will be around that range. Yeah. I think $30 and $35 will be about 350 cedis. Is it?
Yes.
About 350 cedis or 380 cedis, yeah. But these things are real. It's not something that listen, because they are even selling small online. The things they are selling, if you see them, you will not like, they sell stupid things, $10 things, they call big money on the $5 thing. But these are real things that you use and you see results. Yeah, they are very, 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 very proven. I mean, I have about 6-7 years ago, I prepared one and I sent it out, and people are still requesting for it. But we haven't prepared another in the last 7 years. This is the only time that we are preparing it again. Thank you very much. Then I move it up. We have Sam, and I will be closing soon. And then we have Sam to Sam. Hello, Sam. How are you? It's been a long time. Hello, Toby. Can you explain the idea of a spirit preventing things like love to get your attention? Usually, spirits will not prevent love or good things for you, for them to get your attention. What the spirit may be doing is maybe behind what you are seeing. You can't see everything, but with your human eyes, you thought what you are seeing is the final, and you have accepted it and think it's the right thing. So if a spirit that is with you knows what is going to be the outcome, they will prevent you from getting into that relationship so that you will not get hurt at the end. But for we as human beings, we will think that the spirit is preventing you because the spirit wants attention. No, I don't think any spirit will prevent you because they want attention. They can get attention if they want it, but they probably see in the future. Because there was a case, my own case. There was a woman I was interested in at a time in my life, and I did a reading to find out whether this woman can be together with me and we can have a relationship. But the spirits told me that the woman is good, but there's something wrong with her. There's something little that is not complete. So they advised me not to get involved. But being human, I said, oh, that little thing that is not right, I can manage it. You know, if that's all that there is, I don't have a problem. Truly, I have had a relationship with this woman for some long time, but at the end of the day, what the Spirit said came to pass. And today, I am not together with her anymore. She had really hurt me and many other things. But that's what spirit is. When they told you and you don't want to listen, they will allow it to happen. And when it happens and you have the experience, now you know. Thank you very much, sir. Sir. Thank you. And then we have Pick Point GH say, you are right, Papa. Thank you very much. And then Sam Tusa say, if a voodoo has a kind of its own, I wonder why they prevent things until you pay attention to them. Okay, I will also say that voodoos are just like we human beings. They are also beings and entities. It's only that we cannot see them. They are not visible to our naked eyes. So if you are working with a voodoo and then you move your attention to another thing, of course, they want you had made a kind of a promise to work with them. So they want you to continue working with them, just like how every human being would be. When you are with someone and then you change your mind or try to please another person, the person will not be very happy. But if the voodoo really wants your attention, they can always get it. They know what to do. But voodoos are limited to that. They don't choose to do things on their own. They want you to do it as a human being, and then they reciprocate. So that's what it is. That's what I have experienced. Thank you. And then we have a Pick Point again. God of ancestors bless you, and bless you too. Bless you all. Bless every one of you to be out this time of the day and listening to me. God bless you all. So Pick Point GH said, we are saying we are not very sure, but it will be between the ranges of 300 cities to 350 cities. Then we have Huncho 67. Hi, do you Korea to South Africa? We will send to anywhere in the world. We will send it to anywhere in the world. And then we have Jonas Abaya. They say, hi, hello, Jonas. How are you? Thank you very much for joining the section. And then pick point G is please numbers to call to pick up. Yes, once the package is ready, we are our numbers are already in our profile. But I asked my team to prepare a special this thing to advertise and also to let people know how much it will be. Because the package is coming in about 3 or 4 packages, and then the total price of them. So you were asking about the package, but the package will not be I'm talking about one item in the package being 350, 350. So if there are 2 that you order, then it will be the price will be double. If it is 3, then it will be a triple, or maybe a discount to be given on it. If there are 4 of them, then we will know. So we have not finally come out with the total price of the package. Once we come out, we are going to let you know. But the things are almost ready because we were working on them. We started packaging them. We are waiting for the box into which we are going to put them. Once they come, then we will announce the price and everything. Then we can send them. And the pick a point is saying that, Papa, please, marrying 2 wives, is it a sin? I don't think so. Because in our culture, people marry more than 1 wife. And if you look into the Old Testament, the people that God has blessed the most and God has worked with the most in the Bible were people who marry more than 1 wife, especially in the Old Testament. The people who marry more than 1 wife. However, if you know you cannot take care of 2 wives, don't marry 2 wives. Don't make them. Don't make them suffer. If you cannot marry 2 wives and have take good care of them, then try to marry only 1 wife. But if you are sure that you can marry 10 wives and be able to take care of them, that is your cup of tea. It's up to your life. It's up to your own capacity. Those who cannot should not do it and make the other woman suffer. Thank you. And then Samuel Tusa said, thank you, sir, again for your honesty. I really appreciate it. I'm very grateful for the question, Samuel Tusa. We are grateful. And then Johannes Kong say your contact. We have put it under. And then your location on Spinters Road. We are. You go on to Google Map, or is it Google Location? They call it
Google Maps.
Google Maps, and you type in African Magic Temple. You will find our location. We are on Google for so many years now, so you can easily find us. Thank you very much. I think I will be calling this today. I think we are already 1:26. Thank you all very much for being here. And this is our first Wednesday transmission from 11 p.m. And we have seen the interest of people, and we will try as much as possible that next week Wednesday too will be here. But don't forget, we have a regular Sunday section that starts from 2:30 to 2:50 in the afternoon until when we are done. That's our regular one. And today's one is something we are trying because of the timing. We realize that some people are working and they don't have a free time to watch the Sunday one, or some people are watching football or watching other games. So we decided that on Wednesday nights will also be live, and it is very very nice to see all of you here this evening and this morning. I'm very grateful. We have somebody's name is Just Say It. Please, Is it true that there are some people for whom traditional religion cannot work for? No. Traditional religion can work for, it's not even a religion, it's a traditional spirituality. It can work for everybody and anyone if you are in the right place. Yeah, can work for anyone. Because the traditional religion or traditional spirituality is your own thing. It's something that you were born into. It's only we denied it. It's not that something strange. It is very easy for you to understand than anything, because your grandfather did not come from Israel, but you are calling Israel God to help you. What God would the Israel people call if you are calling Israeli God? What God do you want the Israeli people to call? They should come and call your own? No. Traditional spirituality is something that you were born into. Whether your parents, your ancestors, or your grandfathers have rejected it, does not mean that you were not born into it, because every village has a chief. And we are very happy to call somebody our chief. Chieftaincy did not come from the church. Chieftaincy came from the clan, from our tradition, and from our traditional ancestral stools. So if you are very proud of your chief, or whenever there is a festival in your village and you want to go, that's your tradition. By rejecting it does not make any difference. The blood that runs in you came from your ancestors. Your DNA is connected to your ancestors. So rejecting it on the surface and still keeping that blood doesn't change anything at all. So it works for everyone if you are in the right place. Thank you. And we have so many people joining, but we are about to close for today because I'm getting sleepy. And then just say it. He said, well explained. Thank you, Papa. You are very much welcome. Just say it. Yeah. Yes, so you have a question.
Oh, Baba, thank you for today. No question now. But next time I would like to know who God is.
God is nature. There is nobody in the sky there. God is everything that you see. If everything around you today does not exist, if trees, rivers, mountains, the sea and everything cease to exist, you will go to. You will also die. How? God, if there is no water, if there are no rivers, how will you get water to drink? If there are no trees and plants, how will you get food to eat? You will die. So God is nature, and nature is God. Everything in the universe is what God is. He's not a man sitting somewhere in the sky with a long beard and pencil or pen with a goggle on his eye, trying to get you your mistakes and trying to punish you. If God is love, why should he punish you? Okay, thank you all very much. Pick point GH is a good word, Papa. You have to go and rest because of your health. Thank you. I'm very grateful for all of you. Thank you all very much, and good morning to you all. All those who were here and those who are not here today, I ask for good health, opportunities, wealth, and all the good things in life for them until we meet again next Wednesday. Thank you all. Have a good morning. And those who are going to sleep, good night to you. Thank you very much. We are grateful that you have been here. It has been a very interesting one. I was even surprised that a lot of people came. Great. So we'll continue with it. And then there's somebody with the name 88 Fancy. Say, Papa, how are you doing? I'm good. And then I say, the same person say, TDK say thank you. And my guy say, follow the host. And Pick Point say, never me. Akpe bubure.
So a couple weeks ago, I went to Thailand to go and visit Kunyuari. And Kunyuari, I don't know how to describe her. She's such a lovely person, first of all. Very warm, always dripped out. Like, she doesn't mess around with her fashion. She's very fun. She loves TikTok. She loves pictures. Very lovely lady. And she's also an incredible diviner. She's a seer. She's been my dad's friend for over 40 years. She was his teacher at some point, and he learned a lot. My dad is a Voodoo priest, and so am I, and pretty much all my family. But basically, Kunyuari has always been this legendary figure. She's the one who told my dad back in the day to move back to Africa and go and find his spirituality, or the spirituality of his own people. Very legendary lady. She can really see. When I was 8, my family and I, we went to Thailand, and she did some readings for me that some things are going to happen at certain times in my life. I did go through a lot of my youth thinking about some of the things she had said, and then a lot of things did play out. And I know it's not those things where, like, if you think it's going to happen, it's going to happen. But no, it really did happen. And it was, she don't miss, Every house has, I think if you come from a spiritual house, there's always going to be some people that you really trust. Like, this person knows their shit. And for us, Kunyuari is one of those legends. It's really nice getting to know her myself, visiting Thailand and spending times with her. Her readings are always really on point, giving you the right direction. So yeah, you guys should check it out. So a couple weeks ago, I went to Thailand to go and visit Kunyuari.
So when you do a Nafa divination with us, there are 3 areas that you can seek to find clarity on. The first one is the behavioral and social element, where Afa is going to be giving you guidelines on how you should be acting within your social environment or within yourself to be able to achieve the goals you set for yourself. Number 2 will be the dietary and the health guidelines. What kind of actions do you need to take to be your healthiest self? What kind of food should you take or avoid taking to be able to achieve these things for yourself, not just physically, but also spiritual? Number 3 would be spiritual guidelines. Afa will be giving you directions on how you can be able to advance yourself spiritually to be able to achieve your goals and to be able to manifest the highest manifestation of your positive destiny, and then for you to be able to follow those guidelines so you can overcome the challenges that brought you to the mat. So this 1, 2, 3. So when you do a Nafa divination with us, there are 3 areas that you can seek to find clarity on. The first one is the behavioral and social element, where Afa is going to be giving you guidelines on how you should be acting within your social environment or within yourself to be able to achieve the goals you set for yourself. Number 2 will be the dietary and the health guidelines. What kind of actions do you need to take to be your healthiest self? What kind of food should you take or avoid taking to be able to achieve these things for yourself, not just physically, but also spiritual? Number 3 would be spiritual guidelines. Afa will be giving you directions on how you can be able to advance yourself spiritually to be able to achieve your goals and to be able to manifest the highest manifestation of your positive destiny, and then for you to be able to follow those guidelines so you can overcome the challenges that brought you to the mat. So this 1, 2, 3. So when you do a Nafa divination with us, there are 3 areas that you can seek to find clarity on. The first one is the behavioral and social element, where Afa is going to be giving you guidelines on how you should be acting within your social environment or within yourself to be able to achieve the goals you set for yourself. Number 2 will be the dietary and the health guidelines. What kind of actions do you need to take to be your healthiest self? What kind of food should you take or avoid taking to be able to achieve these things for yourself, not just physically, but also spiritual? Number 3 would be spiritual guidelines. Afa will be giving you directions on how you can be able to advance yourself spiritually to be able to achieve your goals or to be able to manifest the highest manifestation of your positive destiny, and then for you to be able to follow those guidelines so you can overcome the challenges that brought you to the mat. So this 1, 2, 3. So when you do a Nafa divination with us, there are 3 areas that you can seek to find clarity on. The first one is the behavioral and social element, where Afa is going to be giving you guidelines on how you should be acting within your social environment or within yourself to be able to achieve the goals you set for yourself. Number 2 will be the dietary and the health guidelines. What kind of actions do you need to take to be your healthiest self? What kind of food should you take or avoid taking to be able to achieve these things for yourself, not just physically, but also spiritual? Number 3 would be spiritual guidelines. Afa will be giving you directions on how you can be able to advance yourself spiritually to be able to achieve your goals or to be able to manifest the highest manifestation of your positive destiny, and then for you to be able to follow those guidelines so you can overcome the challenges that brought you to.
The way I understand Afa divination, it's a tool to communicate with the deities of nature, to our ancestors, and between us as human beings. It's a memory bank of past problems of human beings. It's an amalgamation of many problems that human beings have faced, both health, social, romantic, that our ancestors accumulated and then passed on through very interesting oral stories. And so when a person comes for a reading or a person comes with an illness in a real divination, the divination should be able to tell us a time in human history or within the history of our ancestors of what happened and how these problems were solved, to give us some insight and tailor-suited advice to a person today. The way I understand Afa divination, it's a tool to communicate with the deities of nature, to our ancestors, and between us as human beings. It's a memory bank of past problems of human beings. It's an amalgamation of many problems that human beings have faced, both health, social, romantic, that our ancestors accumulated and then passed on through very interesting oral stories. And so when a person comes for a reading or a person comes with an illness in a real divination, the divination should be able to tell us a time in human history or within the history of our ancestors of what happened and how these problems were solved, to give us some insight and tailor-suited advice to a person today. The way I understand Afa
in Ghana started off with honoring indigenous and ancestral heritage. So it started at this old 300-year-old tree that is wrapped in a white cloth. And it's not just any tree. It's a tree that has survived wars, colonialism, and Christianity's relentless attempt to erase it. Let me tell you about it. So this tree is called Mpeni-Kofi, and it stands as an integral part of the spiritual architecture of the Ekwepen people. It's the cemetery, the imperial palace, and then the tree itself. It has it that this tree, back in the day when there were wars, the spirit of the tree will confuse the enemies. They don't know what's going on, and it will empower the warriors of the Ekwepen people to fight and defend their land. And one of the biggest challenges to this tree was Christianity and the Basel Mission and the Presbyterian Church. So Basel missionaries viewed Mpeni-Kofi as a pagan idol that was standing in the way of Christian dominance, and they thought of it as the stronghold of Satan itself. So when they built the first Presbyterian church in Ghana and the area, they made sure that the building is towering over the tree to signify dominance of their God. And actually, some of the missionaries and the new converts even started to get confident enough to the point where they wanted to suggest cutting down the tree and using the wood to help to build some of the churches. But the king said no. He stood on business and he warned them that if you try that, it's going to be war. Oh, they tried so many times, but they failed miserably. And they failed for 3 reasons. So even the Christian chiefs or the converted chiefs knew that if they cut that tree is the source of their legitimacy to the throne. So if they cut the tree, then they are already destroying their own legitimacy as chiefs too. A lot of people practice spiritual dualism. So in the Sunday morning, they'll go to church, they'll go and pray. But when the night comes, they'll take drink and pour libation at the tree. So I guess they were securing both sides. But it also shows this dualism of indigenous practice and Christianity that we actually see in Africa today. And the third reason is the Abrafo. These people are the spiritual enforcers, the legal police and executioners of the king and bodyguards, that if you try, they told them that if you try to touch this tree, you will face the axe. So yeah, the tree has gone through a lot, but now you can see it's still standing strong and it's protecting its people. And I really respect Speed for coming to Africa, not just in Ghana, but showing the beauty of indigenous practices across the continent, openly embracing them and showing the world that these are not barbaric practices. They're very beautiful and they're worthy of a lot of respect. And I think it's so beautiful how the diaspora is coming back to reconnect with this, and they are appreciating it sometimes in a way that we Africans ourselves do not or cannot see the beauty of it. Thank you very much, I Speed.
Everybody, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning from Accra Magic Temple, wherever you may be. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you. Thank you all very much for being here today. Today is another day, our Sunday live streaming question and answer section. So we are here. This is Africa Magic Temple. I am your host, Bokor Christopher Voncujovi. Thank you all very much. This is ReVodution, Voodoo, Education, and Africa Magic Temple question and answer straight live streaming. So please prepare your questions, prepare your greetings and comments and everything. And once I do the pouring of libation, then we will go in to start the program. Thank you all very much. Those of you who say they don't know how to pour libation, if you are here, please just watch, and when you have any question to ask, please do. Oh, ago mauga, ago mauga, ago mauga, mauga sobolisa maduago, mauga kitikata maduago, mauga ese maduago, ese joto ame joto, ese nanu ame sete nanu ame wamana pevi, dokuna pevi, wamana pevi maybe enanu dokuna pevi ogbeno, dokuna pevi maybe enanu wamana pevi ogbeno, ese nyene maybe anu katemimo, maybe ala mesese agbedidi ngoboyi. Sinedi don't ever recommend a family Maduago. Ayo sheme hand for a show, semi for a show, but Maduago. La braxas, abraxas meosi, adrecondo, cadreto, vino cuna, vesoto, vesorca, Maduago. Ime yo miano so die, and you so cacachicas bajadre, near la family Agolina, even a government, Hono Mayora Kakalo, when you're in Bama do frollo, for playing Bama Duadical. When you tekulo, away teku etega, mayora mayor a kind bitch of a kind, whenever kind of a kind, so what kind of a kind, and you are kind of show a kind, and you are tabaka. Pay per member, I had a dollar couple of another Jiffy, but something that you may have me down. Oh, well, but well, Capo, Bobio, Zango, Miami play you. Maybe your job bata Jomaku, a fork of all the children who don't be cocoa at all for me. Job or here. Job when you ever try a molo mojo to and quite a paper, you need a payment, but over your 2 so women or to very cow job at a year, happy a job over your job at our pay. Bata. Metronam and Beda Molo, every fagbe leading. Jopataneno, Annie Apemia, Ajolo, Jopata, Jopata, at the family of Miss Membogy to talk with them, Tapaquilities, Bulu, Ajima, Bojuko, Jalapon, Valentiva family, Valojo, Nakofu, Agosapate Mayolo, I take a limo, go do me a la fear. Emma Yama gas is a gajak, but passes. This is a topic. Mayo Brahini, Mayo Bochi, Mayo fully Coco Monaco, go to Kuchukuma, Comanato, Kuto, and a Fanamilo. Mayo Tony Cosepoku, Akuyan, and America, Cosabu, Phone of Gage, Tassiniamo, Fusi, Jamcosa, Bracobra, Mamma and Bojimba, Tobinago Hukufi, Tobina Kubia Bensa, Mamma and Dore Pecuno, Kuto and a Fanami. Your point is Celestina, Wakubia, Katrina, Kubia, Funia, Sense, California, Ben, Akubia, Kuto and a Fanamilo, Yamayo. Yes, I own what you charge to pay Kubia, Kutuman and Fanama, Cecilia, Penny, a cat, and Mensa, Kutuman and Fanami. You may own to you, but to you, Tommy, to you, Mayorako, Kinikini, assistant plan, Chabara, Subarabuna, Kutuman and Fanama. Yoboka, Daphne, so far, who will be a quafacha jogger who know who will be a Gatoba Maza, Kutuman and Fanami. But Tobian and into to a Gitato Barbara, to be no Chamatogo, Fiat, Tossing, or Cabela Benyazi, Daniel Vier, Pamara, Kutuman and Fanami. Mayo Mega Koku Anatovi, Uncle Yama Kutumanefana, you're happy, Akosa Baji, your Harrison George Ajovu, Kutumanefana, your pretty boo. Your Tobacco Kwame via Jogging, your Tobacco Komla Asuma Agbovi, Kutumanefana. Your Benis Venunia say Kutumanefana, your Ruben Komla Akubia, Kutumanefana Gongo. Your Trebivio, Abraham View, Gajivu, Kubia View, Pojimana Battery and Wateshi Mate, Mamate to Carpenter Road, Boygon, Painters Road, if you go to the Penal Veggie, Kutoman. Mayo Abuchi Sacracama to Ababe, Adogo, Koto, Colido, Kumaku, but Toby Valley, Achu, Fran, Tamani, 15, Kuna, Sintra, Kofto, Jabba, Coach, or Tuakoficho, Coffee, Atra, Cable, Godogo. Eu também rouba também para Voodoo, toda a roupa, essa passagem de crime, rotar, coxinha, rotar, querer como eu. A relega de uma coisa. Continua pode ir, não pode ir, mas tive. Tá remédio, relega de pesadinha de beza. A gutaba de pesadinha tá de beza. Ei, não olhe pepe. Não pode harar nem que. Eu me oculo com as aleco, abla oli. Melhor que cadê ku kwenye nkanya mikwa me. Melhor que dagbe. Me awele mi lelo togwe mama ma yo mi okeke me yo gogli be ji otonu pe me yo klogo hoko chichia me yo togwe glimdo me yo togwe pechu manyamli po harana mi me yo na gojo me yo na sakumo no yo dainga po harana mi yo keke me yo togwe ablakpo po harana mi me yo aholivi akpo botugulo tunu me yo ra keke dagbe Jimmy Yomido, Lamese, your Toby of Lapo Sagesugu. Haramiza Dagli Pe, but Pesse Bonavia Pedio, and Gatino Mio Peo may I require home Avanas Tubu, Mayora Bome, Mayomi, Yamayo, Toba de La Pojavli, before Napala, Dugbella or Han, at the Clamachachuchi Ho, Big Bahula Lifo, Mayomi Opetilo, your Toba Damalia, your Toba Dadokonaga, a Hanami. Mayo Goglibes, you turn work pe, for Harana Kake. Yo afanagonu afagbo majezo okwekwele tomozo le me dakpa vidi me yo kwali gbe meji yeku meji oli meji di meji loso meji ngoli meji abla meji akla meji kuda meji sa meji ka meji trupe meji tula meji lete meji che meji fu meji wale che tula me yo klebo vide ton kwa toba do bo me toba de nyade mapwe di dakbe umbuga kele togbo mama ahana milo nyana amerika ko na me tesia dagbe jime yo milo. Yo, now we are done with the libation, and we can now start taking your greetings, your comments, and your questions. We are now on TikTok, African Magic Temple on TikTok, and we see our brother our son, Voodoo priest in Nigeria, saying good evening, Papa. Hello, Bokor Chibuzo, how are you? Thank you very much for joining today's section. I hope you and the families are all doing well. Thank you very much. And then we have a Efia Sweet there. Say good evening, Papa. Hello, good evening to you, Efia Sweet. How are you and how is Kofi? I hope all of you are fine. Thank you very much. Then we have Esther saying hi, Papa. Hello, Esther. I hope you are doing well. Thank you very much for joining the program. I'm grateful. And then we have a Pure Goddess. He said, good evening, Papa. Hello, Pure Goddess. Good evening to you. Thank you very much for joining today's program. I'm grateful. I hope you and your loved ones are all doing well. I'm grateful. Then we have Lady Glam saying, good evening, Papa. Hello, Lady Glam. Thank you very much for joining today's section. We are very grateful that you joined, and I pray that you and your loved ones are doing well. And then Maracha also joined the live section. Thank you all very much. Then we have Delphine Doku saying, hi, Papa. Hello, Delphine. How are you? Thank you. Thank you very much. I hope you are doing well. You are welcome to the program. And then we are on YouTube. We have a Heru's site saying, greetings, Bokor Christopher. Can you tell me about Kudo Tutu closing the pit of death? Yes, I can tell you about it. And then we have our brother in the US, Public Relations 695. Papa, good morning. Good morning, Doji. How are you? Thank you very much for joining the section. How is your mother? I hope everybody is fine. Okay, so let's go to Heru Sit's question, Kudo Tutu. Okay, what is a Kudo Tutu? Kudo Tutu is simply closing the portal of death, or if you can choose to say the pit of death, or the hole of death, whichever way you can express is what is called Kudo Tutu. And what brings Kudo Tutu? Kudo Tutu is whenever you do a reading, maybe things are happening in your life and you don't understand, or you're having some dreams that does not give you clarity, and you wanted to know why such dreams are occurring in your life, and then you do a spiritual consultation or a reading, as the Americans call it, and it appears in your reading that death is aiming to shoot you down, or death is preparing to attack you, or death is surrounding you, and the possibility of death taking you or taking any of your loved one away is high, then the Ewe Afa and Voodoo rituals, they have to close that portal of death that is open on you, the door of death that has opened for you to enter, or the pit of death that has opened for you to fall into it. Then they need to close it immediately and seal it, so that you will not fall inside that pit, or you will not walk through that gate or that door to walk through that portal to enter into the land of the dead. Sometimes it's not only you. When a portal of death is seen for a particular person, it does not only involve the person that the portal of death is seen for, but it also includes all the person's loved ones, people who are in your good books. That may include your children, your mother, your father, your good friends, and all relatives and people who are good to you. The portal of death can involve all of them. So by closing the portal of death for yourself, you are actually closing the portal of death for all the people who are in your good books. Okay. So that is what Kudo Tutu, as people call it. Ku is death, Do is whole, and Tu is to close. So closing the portal of death, or closing the hole or the pit of death. And that is what we call Kudo Tutu. Heru said, thank you very much for that question. Thank you very much. we have on ReVodution Voodoo Education on Facebook. We have Paul Kwesi Damali. It's a very interesting life story. Thanks for sharing. Thank you very much, Paul. I hope you and your loved ones are fine. Thank you very much. I will be seeing you very soon. So we are back on. We are back on TikTok, and we have Logan saying good evening, Togbi Gang. Hello, Logan. How are you? Thank you very much, and good evening to you. I hope you and your loved ones are good. May the ancestors continue to bless you. And then Voodoo priest say, who is Togbi Aflakpo? Togbi Aflakpo is also another voodoo that we have at our shrine. It is a akpo, or a bag that contains a lot of mysteries, and that's the one we call Togbi Aflakpo. So, you know, the word akpo in Yoruba or in Nigeria means a sack or pocket. The Eves also have the same name as sack or pocket. So that's what it is. So Togbi Avalapo is a sack of different voodoos and their works inside that sack. And when they give you to you as a voodoo, then you have access to all those different deities that are inside that sack. And we have that also with us at African Magic Temple. Thank you very much, Voodoo priest. And then we have safe space. It's a Papa Enuledo. Safe space Enuledo. America Medena Nudo. Woliwofun. Akpe. Thank you very much for joining the section today. I'm grateful. Then we have a Jumbo Ruth saying, good evening, Nana. Hello, Jumbo Ruth. Good evening to you. How are you? How are your loved ones? Hope you are all doing well. You are welcome to our program. And then safe space again was saying Enuledo. Enuledo now, safe space. America Medena Nudo, Woliwofu. Thank you very much. Then we have Mr. Ima. Papa, please, I sent you a message on TikTok, but explain my dream to you, but there was no response. Yes, Ima, I saw your message yesterday, and if you realize I have said hi or hello onto it. But I'm not a person who is a dream interpreter, so that's why I don't know how to explain the dream to you. But maybe you can post it here again, the dream, and then let's see whether somebody among us here will be able to give us an insight into your dream. So, Mr. Ima, you are very welcome to today's program. I'm grateful that you joined us, and I hope you and your loved ones are fine. Then we have Tony B sending us, you are awesome times 7 places. Very great. Thank you very much, Tony B. And Tony B also sent Heart Me times 1 to us. We are very grateful for every gift that you are giving us. Then Jumbo Ruth is saying, I'm fine, please. Thank you very much, Jumbo Ruth. Please, if you have any question or you want to have any comment or anything, we are here. We'll try to answer. We are here to help teach and also to learn from all of you. And then Voodoo priest said, why is white sweet drink used in Mami rituals and not colored drink like Fanta? I am not very sure why white drinks are used, or white sweet drinks like Sprite, Lamley, Lion Killer are used. But if you can take a cue from Voodoo in general. In Voodoo, we don't use colored drinks to pray. Even that's why you will not see people using whiskey that is colored. If they will use whiskey, then it must be a plain drink. And they use gin, which is a plain drink. Schnapp is a plain drink. And also our local gin or our local vodka, apeteshi or guguro, is also plain color. Most of the time in voodoo practices, we don't use colored drinks to pray. Even palm wine that is usually used to pray is a white palm wine. So we don't use colored drink. The only place that we probably use colored drinks is when we are doing ancestral feeding. But even in ancestral feeding, the drinks that we use, which is colored like a pito or a brukutu or those things, that is their natural color. They were not colored. That is their natural color. So it is used, but it's used briefly only in that. So I think it is for the same reason. That's why Mami Wata also uses a plain white drink, not colored, because the Fanta had been colored. That's why it became red. Coca-Cola has been colored. That's why it's become black. But the base of them all is just pure, plain, white sugar drink. Yeah. So we don't use what do you call it, a colored drink in voodoo. But when you are in a situation where you don't have any drink at all to pray, and the colored drink is the only one that you have at that time, then you have no choice. If you still want to pray, then you have to use just whatever you have to pray. Thank you very much, Voodoo Priest, for that. And then we have Mr. Ima saying, okay, Papa, thank you very much, Mr. Ima. And then Jumbo Ruth is saying, please, I just follow you now. Okay, thank you very much, Madam Ruth. I'm grateful that you are following me. I will follow you back. Thank you. And then Voodoo Priest says, how many tax can a priest give to one Voodoo if he has lots of clients? You can give Voodoos as many tax as you want to give them. But to be on a safer ground, you have to identify and specify the tax, because Mr. A's tax may be different from Mr. B's tax, and Mr. B's tax may be different from Mr. C or Madam C's task. So when you are giving the task to the Voodoo, you have to specify whose work you are giving. Voodoo can do as many works as you give to them at the same time, because they are not limited by space, time, or person. They can be anywhere at any time and fulfill anything that you give. I will use the Indian goddess scenario to explain this in. You know, when you go to India or you watch Indian movies or you see other Indian deities, they have so many hands. You will see that one deity has hand, some hands are turning something, some are holding something, and all the way down. The idea was not that the particular deity has got many hands as in physical hands. It's a metaphor in the sense that they are just telling you that God is so, or spirit is so unlimited. Spirit is so unlimited to the point that it can do many things at a time. But for human minds to be able to comprehend and understand that, that's why they make all the hands, plenty hands. It is only telling you that God has no limitation, or spirit has no limitation, and it can do things, many things, or can, concurrently and all at the same time. But when you are coming from the background where these things have not been explained to you. When you see a deity with so many hands, you start getting fear that how can one spirit have plenty hands like that? But it is a metaphor just to tell you that a spirit is not limited to anything. It can do many things at the same time, which simply means I has so many hands that can, if one is comforting, one can be fighting on your behalf, that they are unlimited. So you can give as many tasks to your deity. If the deity or the spirit is really active spirit, it will be able to fulfill each task that you may give them. Please, the monitor is off for my side. What is the problem with this particular thing always? Is it the cable? Is it the TV? Or what is the main problem that always it has to be going off and on? If it's a cable, why won't we just buy a cable that can do this? We have been having this problem for years now that we are doing, and then all of a sudden it just goes off. If it is a problem of cable, we just have to get a new cable, because how much is a cable? But we have been having this continuously. Why won't we just rectify it once and for all? I saw some monitor on Temu app where they don't even need a cable or anything. You just put battery into it, and it can show you TV signals and everything. You can carry it in your car and go anywhere, and you just put it down. I'm thinking of buying it.
I think the port might be weak.
What is the port?
Yes, please, because with all the cables, the cables work
On other things.
here.
So it may be this TV spot. Okay, so then why can we give it to a repairer to find it, to see? Or the repairer cannot repair it?
I'll check.
Because now even it's gone. I can't see anything. I can't see the questions. I can't see anything even before, or greetings or anything before. Do we keep using it? Okay, so voodoo priest, you can give so many tasks to one voodoo if the voodoo is actually working. Because there are some voodoos that are not working, but you will not know or until you give them tasks. And if you give them tasks and they are not accomplishing the task, means the voodoo is not working. But if the voodoo is working, you definitely can give it many tasks at the same time. It will do. Thank you. And then we have Bella G. Say, hello, Papa. Can you share some details about salt and rainwater uses? Okay, Bella, thank you very much. Salt is well, what can we call it? Not ammonia. of course, salt is a mineral, but I want to get this in. It's like antibiotic, antibacterial, in the sense that if you are from Africa, from our not only in Africa, everywhere, in the olden days, for people to be able to preserve food from getting rotten, they use salt. That's why even in our current Ghana, there is a fish, the dried tilapia, they call kobe. It was a very favorite food in the past, long time before the name tilapia came. And it's salted fish. And in other parts of the world also, they have salted fish. What it does is that, because that people do not have refrigerator and all these things, so they add salt in order to protect the fish or the food from getting destroyed or getting rotten. And I think it's also the same with oil. When you oil also preserve bacteria from forming. That's why in African cooking, a lot of oil was used to make a stew, so that even if you keep it overnight, it will still be there, because the oil is covering the surface of the food, and bacteria cannot penetrate through the oil. So salt is like antibacterial on the physical plane. So also in the spiritual world, salt also can help you to drive away some negative energies that come towards you. So when we prepare herbal bath, there are certain herbal baths, not all. There are certain herbal baths, when we prepare them, we put salt into them to enhance its power, its efficacy, in order to prevent or to drive away negative energies. Rainwater, people use it, and I had also used it when I was a child. I used it a lot because we used to call it holy water. So when I was young and I was trying to do invocations in a bowl, or doing invocations inside a glass or a cup, we were told that if you, because that time I didn't even have money to go and buy perfume oils or anything, so at least when rain is falling, we put a bowl outside, so that it falls directly from the sky, and whatever you are able to gather inside that bowl, we call it holy water, and we use it for, or I used it for invocations, and sometimes to bath or to do purification. These are the only things that I know about rainwater and then salt. I don't know that much about it. I don't know much about it more than what I have just shared, Bella. Thank you very much. And then Voodoo Priest, I say thank you very much, Papa, for bringing clarity. You are very much welcome, Voodoo Priest. And then we have Ali Sekua, say hello, Papa, and everyone. For someone new to the tradition, what's the best way to begin learning? Is getting a reading a good first step? Yes, you are right, Ali Sekua. Before you can do anything, not only being in the tradition, it is advisable that you get a spiritual consultation done. Then you know where you are, and then you also ask questions about where you want to go, if it is safe or it is not safe. So I will advise that getting a reading done will be the first step. And in that reading, things will be explained, and you will understand what you are doing or what you are about to do. It gives you a clarity on the steps you should take to get to where you want to go to. The reading is like a Google map, where you want to go somewhere you don't know, and you ask Google to give you direction. And Google will tell you, okay, When you get to this junction, turn left. When you get to this place, turn right and go straight and all these things. So that's what a reading does for a person. So a reading is in the right direction. Thank you very much, Ali Sekua. Thank you. And then Voodoo praise is again, is can you give an example where a Voodoo can refuse a task that is within its powers? Yes, we are even experiencing one at our shrine. A Voodoo can decide not to work for a particular person because maybe the person's behavior, the way they are with you, and your Voodoos think that they cannot help such a person. That's one case. There's a case that we are dealing with one of our children that anytime we do a reading for him or he has some problem and they do the reading is very clear and gives him the clearance of what he was experiencing. However, when the rituals are done, his situation increases. The problem rather, instead of decreasing, the situation increases or increased. So we last week we were trying to figure out what was the cause, and we came to the realization from the spirits that he has something that he is not telling us. There's a secret he was keeping to himself and he is not telling us. And for this reason, the Voodoos decided not to work for him. Not that what we had done was wrong or anything, but it remains on his side for keeping some secret away from us. So we cannot do anything. So sometimes when you ask a Voodoo to do a task and the Voodoo has it in its powers or within its powers to do, but the person you are working for is not having a very clear mind about you, the priest, or your shrine, or whatever, and has something that he is harboring or hiding, then your spirits will not work for the person. And also, if the person, let's say it's for the first time the person has come to you, but your spirits are not working for the person, you must find out what a person was doing that is somehow against some laws of nature. And for that reason, the spirit world does not want to assist. There are cases, women who had had abortions in their past life now come to a shrine to look for a child. And then you are looking for a child and the child is not coming. What can you do? And it seems as if all that you know as a priest, you are doing, but you are not seeing any positive result. Maybe they did not tell you the abortions, and then also abortion rituals has to be done in order to clear them, free them from that baggage or karma that they have had been following them. And the children have blocked the doors and will not let her or him have a child anymore. So you need to, again, ask more about the person to tell you what they are not telling you, and you come to a good conclusion. Thank you very much, Voodoo priest. We are grateful. Then we have Mr. Ima Papa. Please, in my dream, I saw a white goat with 2 cowries on its neck. Okay? I tried to suck it out of my room, but rather resisting to go out. Okay? This is the dream. So if you saw a white goat in your dream, most of the time goats are not white, but in our part of the world, but sometimes you see white goats also. In other parts of the world, white goats are common. But here, maybe because we are black people, I don't know, that's why our goats are all black. I don't know, I'm just joking. But you can see that once in a while before you get one white goat, and then that white goat looks very special because it's white among the black ones. But then you are seeing a white goat with 2 cowries around its neck. I don't know what that dream may mean, but because of the cowries, it could also relate to spirits. It could relate to some deity. And you will have to, if you want to really find the real meaning to that dream, I would advise that you should do a reading to find out what exactly those cowries on the neck of a white goat represent. There is high possibility that there's a deity that you are kind of related to in one way or the other, of which you don't know, or maybe you have. Kojo, how are you? You don't know, but you probably don't have any idea either, or maybe you have an idea or you know something, but you are not attending to it. So the best advice is to do a spiritual consultation with a spiritualist to find out what that dream is, because of the date, the cowries connected to the goat being white. That's why I am suggesting that you do a reading to be able to find out. And so please, if you live in an area and you have any good priest there, you can consult them, or you can even consult some of the elders in your community. However, if you are not able to get anybody, you can still reach out to African Magic Temple on our telephone number 0262 367578. 0262 367578. That's a Ghana number. If you are outside Ghana, you add the +233 to it. Thank you very much. And then Jumbo Ruth, he said, please, I need your number. Yes, Ruth. Thank you, Madam Ruth. That is what I have just said. 0262 367578. African Magic Temple, and they will attend to you. Thank you very much. And then Voodoo Priest is at Yima. My brother, try to get an Afar reading to know if the dream is a warning or a correction. That's a very good one from Voodoo Priest in Nigeria, Chibuzo. Thank you very much. And then we have Mr. Iyima telling Voodoo Priest, saying, thanks you at Voodoo Priest. Thanks. Yes, that's good. Good to hear that. And then we have Ali Sekua say, thank you, Papa, for that clear explanation. I'm grateful that it made some clarity and clears your doubts. I'm grateful. And then, Jumbo Root kept asking about the number. So please type the number to, you have already typed it. So you will find it, Madam Root. You will see our number. They have sent that to you. And then we are on YouTube. We have Kwasi Damali, that's Paul, I think so. Blessings, Papa. I have another question. Is it normal to experience financial challenges when you have a spiritual calling from your ancestor? Yes, of course. You will have all kind of challenges. Doing spiritual work does not stop you from hitting challenges. You have sometimes physical challenges. You will also experience financial challenges. So when such things happen, what you do is do a reading to find out what is causing that financial blockade, that why things are not moving the way you want. It happens. Sometimes it's also I would not call it a warning, but it's an advice. Maybe the spirit world is trying to let you understand something or get to understand something very clearly. So they will put some kind of challenges in front of you. And then when you go to do a reading, then it becomes very clear. I always advise reading because it is the most clear, it's a most clear form of understanding what you are not understanding. Priests and people can just say it from their own personal experience and say, oh, it may be this, it may be that. But to find out and know the reality of what the spirit world is saying in your dream, or what your inner self is trying to show to you in your dream, or what your ancestors are trying to tell you in your dream, the best is to do a spiritual consultation. And then with that, the clarity comes, and you can understand what exactly is happening. And also the spirit world will guide you what to do to overcome the challenge that you are having. Thank you very much. And then we have meditate, sleep, relax, Omobe Music 558. Say, good evening, Papa, and all AMT Bokors. Question is, if I'm initiated into a voodoo, do I have to feed it? How am I going to know what it wants to feed for feeding? Or I just send money to the shrine that initiated me? It's a very big and a very beautiful question. Whenever you are initiated into a voodoo, the person who initiated you into the voodoo is supposed to tell you what the voodoo does, the taboos of the voodoo, what the voodoo doesn't like, and also probably tell you what you should use in feeding the voodoo when the time comes. We at African Magic Temple, we do feed our voodoos once a year, and sometimes 2 times in a year. More so, sometimes you may do a reading and a particular voodoo that you are working with, or one particular voodoo amongst the voodoos that you are working with may come up in your reading and say, you should feed me. And when the voodoo say you should feed me, if you have the voodoo as a shrine with you, then you will have to feed that voodoo directly. And the voodoo will also specifically or specify what kind of animal you should use to feed it. It's not always the same animal, even though a voodoo may be eating a black chicken, but a time may come and the voodoo demanded that you should feed them through a reading, that if the voodoo demanded that you should feed them, it may not ask for that black chicken. It may probably ask you to give them any other animal. It could be pigeon, it could be a turkey, it could be a goat, can be a ram, and all kind of animals, depending on the reason the voodoo wanted you to feed them for. Or yes, because sometimes the voodoo wants to fight a battle for you, a battle that you is invisible to you or is unknown to you. But by you doing a reading, the voodoo knows what is coming towards you. So the voodoo will advise you that, okay, feed me with this animal. And if you do, the voodoo will now intercede on your behalf, protect you from whatever is coming. If it's a good thing that is coming when you feed the voodoo, or if the voodoo asks you to feed them and you fed them, what happens is that the voodoo will use that and open the door of the good thing that is coming towards you. Then you get it. So it is either the voodoo is going to be defending and protecting you, or opening doors for you to come. So whenever a voodoo is given to you, the person who gave you the voodoo will also advise you and let you know what animal you should use in feeding the voodoo. So it is not a big deal. But if you don't have the voodoo as a shrine, and the voodoo asks you to feed them in a reading, then of course you will have to, if you know how to feed them, then you can feed them. You can also ask your teacher to teach you how to feed them, or you will send money to the shrine that initiated you so that they can feed the main voodoo from where you got yours. Thank you. Why is Seiram going somewhere again? Hey, Africa. I'm me benyayelo. Let's move. Okay, Tony B has sent us you are awesome times 3. And then Tony B also sent again GG times 1. We are very grateful for all the gifts that you are showering on us, Tony B. Thank you very much. And then we have a Trinity. The number is what? The number is not clear. Okay, I think they will type it again, but let me again say it. Plus 233 262 367578 plus 233 262 367578. That's African Magic Temple number. Thank you very much. Then, of course, it's also written there, and it's written for Madam Jambo Ruth. Thank you very much. Please move the listen up. Let's see. Mr. Imas said, thank you. Thank you too for that dream. And if you follow on my advice, you will find a clear understanding of your dream. Papa, how do I get to do the reading, please? You can call our number and then you can book an appointment. The number is above your questions there. Thank you. And Smart Key Gray sent us a rose flower times 1. Thank you very much, Kojo. We are grateful. Yeah. Then Mr. Imase, because I do not know anything about spirituality, Papa. Okay. Once you are here and asking questions, you will have some idea about what African spirituality is all about. Thank you very much, Mr. Ima. Then Royalty sent us a rose flower times 1, and again rose flower times 1, and again rose flower times 1 from Royalty. Thank you very much, Royalty. We are very grateful. And then we have Zoom Pickers. Say, how do I get Voodoo to improve my business? I don't know how you get a Voodoo to improve your business. There are plenty of Voodoos in the world. You can go and look for them, and maybe you will get one. Thank you. Okay, so our brother meditate, sleep, relax, oh my baby, music 558 say, so any priest doing any kind of reading can see or hear my voodoo and its request and communication. I cannot tell that whether any priest can hear and can see. You will have to experiment with that priest to see if he can really hear or see your voodoo. I am not every priest, and I am not the teacher of all the priests in the world, and I have no association with all other priests in the world. I know about my shrine and my priests, so I cannot tell if every priest anywhere can just see and tell you. If I say yes, and you go to a priest and the priest is not qualified, but he called himself a priest, and you are disappointed, you say tomorrow that I am the one, or I was the one who told you that any priest. So for this reason, go and experiment with the priests, and maybe you will find the one that can see and hear. Thank you very much. And Mr. Ima is saying, may you be great, Papa. Thank you very much, Mr. Ima. I am very grateful, and may you also be great. May the ancestors guide you to the right path. And I'll also use this opportunity to let people know that from last week's Wednesday, we have started a midweek section that starts from 11 p.m. Ghana time, GMT 23 o'clock to about 1 a.m. On Wednesdays. We have just started it, so those of you who weren't able to join Sunday, you can join us on Wednesday, 23 o'clock to Thursday, 00. That 01 0 23 o'clock to 0200. Okay, up to 2 a.m. So thank you very much. There are some questions there. Move them. Let me see if I can answer them. Okay, so we have a Alaye Bobo sending us wink wink ×1. Hello, Alaye Bobo. Thank you very much for sending us wink wink. We are grateful for all the gifts that you people are sending to us. Then we have Global Stoneworks. Father, please, I trust you are doing good. Yes, we are doing good, Global Stoneworker. We are very grateful that you joined. And then Alaye Bobo became the number 10 fan in the fan club. Thank you, thank you. And Alaye Bobo sent us again Hat Me ×1. We are very grateful for all the gifts you all are sending to us. May the ancestors continue to bless and make you all great. Thank you. Alaye Bobo also sent us another rose flower ×1. We are grateful, all of you, for all the gifts that you are giving to us. We are very grateful. Okay, so we have on YouTube our brother Meditate, Sleep, Relax, Omobe Music 558 say, I mean, if I was initiated at AMT, I have to keep doing a reading at AMT to make sure my voodoo things are in order. Not necessarily. When you are initiated at AMT, you are not bounded by any strings that you have to do your readings at AMT. You can always do readings with other people, other priests around the world. And if you have any challenge, you can ask any other priest in the world to do a reading for you, provided the priest is very competent priest and knows how to do a reading and to see exactly what is happening. Because we don't know other priests and we don't work with other priests, so we cannot tell who is capable and who is not capable. But African Magic Temple does not stop you from seeking help or going to other priests to do your reading or even for them to do rituals for you. We don't have that power to stop anybody because they are initiated or because they are associated with us. They shouldn't go to. We are not a religious organization. We are a traditional spiritual organization, and we don't prevent people from exploring the world of the spirit to know more. Because we as a temple or we as a shrine, we do not owe everything and we do not know everything. That's why we also sometimes we go out from our shrine to learn from other priests. So we cannot stop people who come to us or who are initiated into our shrine from going to look for more knowledge from other shrines, provided the places that you go and you get the results. By going out to other places would even give you the understanding that what African Magic Temple is doing is totally different from what other people are doing. Please come and move this thing out there. So we don't stop you from going anywhere, please. Because if you don't go to other shrines, how can you compare who is a good priest and who is not a good priest? You need to. Thank you. Are there some other things here again? I think we have read these ones already. Okay, so far that's it. Thank you very much, Trinity. Said, okay, sir. Thank you. Okay, Bokor, play some video if we have some.
Yes.
So only the people on TikTok will not see, but people on
Malelo,
Good health, never nice. So, Weta, and you say, okay, I walk. What I know whatever she in her life. If she finds tails, she'll find it. Find it, find it. Every time you say, I play it. You're not simple. The way you get the country. Yeah, the woman. I have my back. Highland go when you check with Jim between them. Talk with the host of Jim from the Aberdeen with it. You, I don't me a bit cheap for Jim every day. It doesn't know. I happen to go. I mean, you are fan of women, I can't provide Hey, come on. Hey, check my wedding. What's that? You can talk now. No, you will say the things you want the ancestors to do.
Ancestor ni mkazo yonde no ni kai goto
Etiere come altro baccatina, valore. Ecco. Salutation. We are very grateful to you for everything. And when you come to Ghana, please, we will host you. So please come. Thank you very much. Okay, so we get our brother meditate, sleep, relax, Omebe music 558. Say, meaning, if I have Jokpata, the other priest or Bokor can see it, though Afa may be. I am not through Afa. Yes, if you are initiated into a particular deity and you are doing a reading and the deity wants to give you any information, it can give you information about what to do through Afa from any good Afa priest. Because Jokpata is a deity, it's a spirit that goes around, and any good person who knows about spirits can feel it, and even bad people who also know about spirit can also feel its presence, for sure. And then meditate, sleep, relax, Omo music went on, because I learned on the channel that Jokpata is only found on the AMT. Can some other Bokor see it through Afa or Ifa? Jokpata is only at African Magic Temple, but Jokpata is a spirit. So anybody in the world who is doing a reading, and if Jokpata wants them to, or you are asking a question about Jokpata, they will be able to connect with it and be able to tell you what you want to know. But that does not mean that they have Jokpata. Spirits are in the universe, and anyone who is a good spiritualist and a person who is a seer and a diviner can feel them, any spirit from anywhere. It does not mean that it has to be in their shrine before they can know that there is a spirit called Jokpata. They may not know the name, but they will know that there is a spirit that is working with you. And the people who are seers and really good seers may even be able to know its name. Okay, so Gasu Ernest Johnson said, if a Kung Fu dead, the spirits, are they going to remain there, please? I don't know. I don't know. You better ask the spirits of that Komfo or go to the shrine of the Komfo and ask the people who remain there to be able to tell you. I don't know. It is for these reasons why people do spiritual consultation. So if the spirits are still there or they are not still there, a spiritual consultation will be able to clarify that for you. And then we have Gang 45 saying, you made me remember Nana Diego. Okay, I don't know. Okay, are you talking about who is the Diego? The magician. What is his name? No, I'm not talking about Maradona. Our friend who died not too long ago. Mauli is the only one who knows him. Nkansa, Diego Nkansa. Okay, I know the name Diego, Professor Diego. Yes, Professor Diego. That's what I know, but maybe later he is called Nana Diego. I don't know. And then, I'm forgetting the one who died recently. He's a magician, used to be with us in 1993. Okay, yes, that's your father. Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah, Professor Diego. Okay, you are the son of Professor Diego. Thank you. So Ruthman L is saying, salute, sir. Hello, Ruthman. I also salute you. How are you? Thank you very much for joining the section. I hope you are doing well. And then Conseng 45 said, no, please, I'm not his son. I meant I knew him. Okay. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, there were so many great men, but death has taken them all. But we pray that they will be born again in this world, and they will continue doing it where they left off. Continue. Thank you. And then Ruthman L say, I'm doing good, thanks. And then Ruthman L again say, I believe all is well too. Yes, sure, everything is fine. And then Conseng say, much respect, and respect to you too. Thank you very much. And Ruthman L is saying thanks, and thank you too for joining the section. We are grateful. And Conseng said, may you live long, and may you also live long. May the spirits of the universe guide you and give you long life. And Conseng 45 said, is it, how do I spell this in Conseng 45? You are not looking, you are not seeing it there. It's at the say amen. Conseng. Okay. Thank you very much.
Raksas initiation, African Magic Temple initiation at the shrine. So we bought the items here, and there are many herbs, many items that we use. So stay tuned. It's very powerful.
Then I'll be right there. When I can come check you, my baby. No time, no. You can put 100 grand on it. Anything I
Wana vinye jiji lesegbo gapopo lesegbo sendo menya wana lesegbo
We just finished the initiation for the lady. It was a success. We were able to invoke the spirit down. We felt the vibration for all the spirits. So that was a very big success and very interesting to watch. So when you do the Abraxas initiation, what you can expect is that it's supposed to allow you to be able to feel spirit and to experience it physically. For some people, they get it immediately, the vibration. Some people, it takes them longer. But also, Abraxas is also opening the individual to the psychic world, to the spirit world. And at our shrine, all the spirits that we work with go into the band. That's why we say it's the African Magic Temple initiation.
Catch in there. Oh, you are.
Male part. Okay. Jehovah is the negative female. Part. Oh, I see. The female part. So it's Jah Jehovah. Oh, okay. The combination of them is the Christ consciousness. Going to do, you'll be succeeding. Even I don't know what work you are going to do. How would I be able to tell all these things to you? I am not that kind of priest. I am not a malam, and I am not the priests who come on. I am not a pastor who come without having contact or anything with you and tell you that I can see that you have money coming into your account or this. No, I don't do those things. I am a real priest. And a real priest, if you want to consult me, I will show you what to do so that we can consult the spirits, and the spirits will tell you what you want to know. I am not a spirit. I am not God. I am just as human as you. Since you yourself, you cannot even know the work we are going to do tomorrow, whether you will be successful or you will not be successful. How would I, who does not even know you, be able to tell whether you are going to be successful or you will not be successful? If you want to consult with the spirits to find out what your position will be tomorrow about the work we are going to do, the spirit world will be able to explain to you. But me as a human being, I will not be able to tell. And Maswell said, my name is Masawudu Ibrahim. Okay, thank you very much for giving me your name. And then Nana Edu said, Papa, please, do you initiate others into Akai? Yes, I do initiate people into Akai as well. And then Maswell, he said, okay, I understand, Papa. Please, your location. Our location is on the Spinters Road in Accra. We've also given our telephone numbers there, but if you have you are ready, you can take your phone or you can take your pen and I will just call the number to you again. If you are in Ghana, you don't need to prefix our code, but if you are not in Ghana, you start by +233 262 367578 +233 262 367578. So you can pick that number, call, and they will give you the location. You can also Google African Magic Temple on Google Location or Google Maps, and you will find us where we are on the Spinters Road in Accra, Ghana. Thank you very much, Maswell. So our brother Meditate, Sleep, Relax, Omo Music saying, so can a voodoo have taboos as strict as telling you to be on a fasting of certain things or certain days, or tell you to visit certain places on specific days, and AMT voodoo? My brother, Meditate, Relax, Sleep, Relax, Ome Music. You see, there's a lot of people who talk about voodoo in the world. But most of these people have no connection with what we call real voodoo. Voodoo is not like the way people present it to the world, at least the Voodoos that I work with at AMT. I have traveled through many countries searching for spirituality, and I have also traveled through my country to search for spirituality. But the Voodoos that I work with are Voodoos that are real. When I say real, they are entities that prove themselves over and over again over the time. And I put my trust in them. At African Magic Temple, we don't do fasting. My Voodoos don't ask people to fast. The only time a Voodoo may say don't eat certain food, if the Voodoo feels that that food is not good for you, and also if you, or by eating that food, your association with him or her would not be very cordial, then they can tell you that don't eat that food. Or when you eat that food, make sure you cleanse yourself before approaching the Voodoo. That's how we are related to Voodoo at African Magic Temple. And African Magic Temple, no Voodoo will tell you that on this specific day, don't eat food or don't do that or do fasting. No, I have not yet experienced it. I have had those in when I was in religion, but in my spiritual practices, I have not had that. And for a Voodoo to tell you to visit a certain and a specific place, it must be in a reading. When you are doing a reading and the Voodoo come out and say, oh, you should go here and do these things, like go to a riverside and do a ritual, or do a vosa at the riverside, or go to under a tree and do a vosa. Let this vosa be done on the roadside. Let it be done on a crossroad side. Those, yes, I can say. But apart from that, Voodoo cannot ask you to go to a particular place. To go and do what? What would the Voodoo want you to go and do there? Did the Voodoo put anything there for you to go and pick up before he tell you to go to a specific place? No, maybe the Voodoos that you have an idea with are different from the Voodoos that I have. And maybe the Voodoos that people had introduced or had spoken about are Voodoos that are different to the Voodoos that I have at AMT. AMT is the only shrine that has the real Jopata. Because we know the beginning of that Voodoo Jopata. And that's why we have it and we are working with it. There may be other shrines, he may have Jopata, but it is not the same Jopata that the African Magic Temple has. So a Voodoo telling you to go to a certain space, go to visit certain places on specific days, I'm not sure. Maybe it is possible, but I have not experienced that yet. So that's how I will put it. I have not experienced that one yet. When we were in religion, yes, they can tell you a whole lot of things, and because you don't know, you are just believing and you are having faith, you will follow. In spirituality, we don't have faith and we don't have belief. We work with principles, we work with entities, we work with deities, and we work to get experience. And through this experience, we know whether what we are doing is true or it's not true. What we are doing, whether it is real or it's not real. It is a practical experience that exposes you to knowledge and wisdom. But when you use faith, You are only believing, not knowing, and not having real concrete assurity whether that is real or it's not real. But in practical spirituality, you have your own personal experience, and that experience will advise you and teach you about the reality or illusions. So this is what African Magic Temple does. But apart from that, I don't know. I don't know anything. Then we have and then you are talking about taboos. Yes, Vodus have taboos. Supposing a Vodu who does not eat palm oil. When you eat palm oil, you cannot go to that Vodu straight away without bathing and cleaning yourself. Because the Vodu, before they initiate you into it, they will tell you that it does not eat palm oil. So you who is working with the Voodoo, also when you are going to work with the Voodoo, you cannot eat palm oil. But if by any chance you have eaten palm oil, then you will have to cleanse yourself before working with the Voodoo. Thank you. My Vodus at African Magic Temple are not fearful. They are very open Vodus that are ready to teach and also to guide. Thank you very much. Meditate, sleep, relax, Ome music. And then we have Heru Sate saying, greetings, Bokor Christopher. Hope all is well. Question, can you give a little detail on Kudo Tutu closing the pit of death? I have already done it, Heru. I have already explained that one. Maybe you would have to go back into the videos or I have already explained about Kudo Tutu, which is closing the portal of death or closing the pit of death. That was the first question that I had answered. And then I think Bokor Semefa is asking a question whether Papa, please, can a female be initiated into polygamy? First is, can a Voodoo be a female or male? Yes, some Vodus are male, some Vodus are female, but most Vodus are both male and female. To some people, they will come in as a female, and to some people, they will come in as a male. So, because most Vodus or spirits are hermaphrodites. Hermaphrodites they are not men, they are not women. They are just what they are. They can be women, they can be men. That's what the hermaphrodite is. That's why people even were saying that in the Bible, Adam, that was written about in the Bible, the whole Bible in the Old Testament was set in Iraq, present day Iraq, because the river Euphrates and Tigris are in Iraq. And I think that's where the Garden of Eden was supposed to be. But today, Iraq seems as if they have nothing to do with the Bible. And some of the writings in the Bible are based on Syria and all those things. Not really on Israel, because Israel was not there at that time. So they were based on Iraq, Iran, Syria, and those areas around the Arab countries. So it was said that Adam, that was created, was a hermaphrodite. Means he wasn't a man, he wasn't a woman. He is both man and woman. So spirits sometimes are like that. And then again, Bokor Semefa says, Papa, please, can a female be initiated into polygamy Badu? I believe that females are also initiated into polygamy Badu because whether they are directly initiated into polygamy or they are just kind of participating, I don't know. Because, we don't have polygamy in our shrine. So maybe I will have to ask people who have polygamy Badu and ask them whether a female can be initiated into polygamy Badu. Because when I went to some polygamous shrines in the eastern region, yeah, I saw women also participating. It was their great grandfather's voodoo, so they were participating. Whether they were initiated or they weren't initiated, I cannot tell. And then Heru said, thank you to Heru for that question. Thank you very much. I have already explained it. And then Bokor Semefa said, why is Adam both male and female? That's why I'm saying a person is a hermaphrodite, male and female. If you type, even people today, in this world today, some people are both man and woman. You can type it, hermaphrodites in living memory. You will find them. I think there was even one woman in Nigeria or somewhere was talking about herself. She's man and woman together. That's how God created her. So type to go when we are done, go into it and look for hermaphrodite. Yeah, but she herself, she knows that she's a man and woman. Hmm? Yeah. So we have Nana okay, let's see. Okay, we have some few, please. Okay, we have Esinam saying, hi, Papa. Hello, Esinam. How are you? Thank you very much for joining the program. I hope you are doing well. Thank you very much. And then we have Cost Gang 45 say, Papa, is it possible for a person to get a voodoo if that person is not a chosen one? Yes, of course. People go and get voodoo or get anything they want to work with. But before you get initiated into a voodoo, it is advisable for you to ask a lot of questions and, if possible, do spiritual consultation to find out if that voodoo that you are going to get will work with you. Because there are some people, they get a voodoo, but the voodoo doesn't want to work with them. And that is also because the teachers who gave them the voodoo did not make a prior investigations to know whether the voodoo will work with the person or not. So it is advisable that before you get a voodoo to work with, do a spiritual consultation to see if that voodoo will work with you. If not, you may have the voodoo, but you cannot get the benefits of the voodoo. Thank you very much. And then Ruth Man says, if you are choosing one, how do you know if you don't? When you are choosing a voodoo, that's why I'm saying you have to make a reading or a spiritual consultation in order to know whether that voodoo will be able to work with you or not. So before you choose, find out. That's the best way. Thank you. And the Cost Gang 45 say, Papa, is it possible for a person, okay, I think it's the same question. And then Nana Edu say, Papa, please, when you are initiated into a voodoo, is the person able to hear and see the voodoo? Yes and no. When you are initiated into a voodoo, you may not be able to hear it immediately or see it immediately. It also depends on the person who is initiating you and also the voodoo that they are initiating you into. At African Magic Temple, when we initiate you into a voodoo, you cannot see the voodoo, you cannot hear the voodoo, but we will make the voodoo bring its presence so that you can feel the voodoo that you have been introduced to the voodoo. And the voodoo also will show you signs to make you know that you had been introduced to it and it's going to be with you. So that one we do. But at other shrines, I don't know how they do their initiation, whether after initiating, whether you can feel it or you cannot feel it. But when you are initiated into a voodoo, with time, you will begin to see its work in your life, and there is high possibility if your hearing and seeing is very good, if your third eye or your inner mind is open, then you can begin to hear it and you can begin to see it as well. But it's not a one-day thing like you go today and tomorrow you start to hear and start to see. That's a mistake a lot of people make. People thought that voodoo or spirituality is something very easy, that once you get initiated the following day, you start to do miracles. No, it doesn't happen like that. You have to get to know the voodoo very well and get closer to it before it starts to show you its real form. Thank you. And then Bella G says, is polyga the same as polyeto? I don't know. Polyga is polyga badu, babadudu. That's what some people call it, badu. The Yorubas don't call it badu, they call it igbadu, which means calabash. Igba, which is calabash. Dum means tasty. Igbadu means calabash is tasty. And the voodoo polygon badu is actually inside calabash, which I don't have it, so I don't talk very much about it. And then Bokor said, Papa, please, can you talk about Bangre? I don't have Bangre, so I cannot talk about Bangre. It is the voodoos that I have that I talk about. I don't know so much about Bangre. I don't have a Bangre, and I don't talk about. And then also, Bokor is asking, are there positions in Fa? Yes, of course, there are so many positions in Fa. Bokovi, and then you become a Toboko, where is Bokoga. And then, of course, they have Alugbede, Jogbana, Alugbede, and then they have Rabba. And it goes, they have position depending on how long you have been practicing Afa and the things you can do. Once you get students and you are teaching them and you are initiating people into Afa, you be called a to Bokor in our Ewe Afa. And I think in Yoruba Afa, it is the Oluwo, or your to Bokor is called Oluwo, somebody who is a Bokor but is older than you, who teaches you about Fa. So there are so many other, then they have this, the Yorubas call it Araba, which we are calling Rabba here in Ewe. Araba also means you are a senior Bokor who knows much about Afa. Senior Ifa priest is also called Araba. Yes, when you get, they'll give you some other initiations as you go. Then we have Ian Campbell 3540. So how much times does human reincarnate? I don't know. I don't know how many times a human being will reincarnate. I am not God. Okay, so we are at our last question, and if there's any question, check all the platforms. Let's see if there's any question. If there is no question, then we can close. It's now 7:14. We are done for today. Okay, I thank you all very much for being here today. Those of you who have sent us gifts, especially Daz or Davi from Brazil, and all the other people, what do you call it, Smart Kid Gray, and other people who had sent us. Listen, there was another person who sent so many. Tony B, yes, also has sent us a lot of this thing today, and all others we are very grateful to all of you for today. And those of you who will want to join our Wednesday teachings from 11 p.m. on Wednesday, what do you call it? On Wednesday, and you can join us. We will be here to again teach you and explain and also answer your questions. I am very grateful. And then Bokor Semify was said, Papa, is it wrong if you look into a person's grave? No, there is nothing wrong when a person look into another person's grave, because at the end of the day, when they want to bury people, people look into the grave before dropping the dead body inside. But in some cases, and depending on the money that you were initiated on when you got your fa, if the police does not want you to be looking inside graves and holes, not only grave, even gutter, to be looking into anything that is a pit, then in that case, you will be told at the time of your initiation that you are not allowed, or not that you are not allowed, but you should avoid looking into graves or into pits or into holes, so that it can help you. Because if your body is that, then in that case, if you are looking inside holes or looking into graves or into pits or into gutters, the spirit will pull you into getting dead. That's why they advise you don't go. Okay, so Bokor is Mr. Ima is saying that thank you to Papa, and Bokor is saying thank you very much. Let me see that question. Let me see the question first. Then it said that thank you so much. We are grateful. May you live long. Thank you very much. And also, Bokor is sending us different emojis, love, and I don't know the other one. It looks like pumpkin. Thank you all very much. I'm going to pour libation and we will close today's section. Oh, togwe mama me dakpe. Togwe maunga sobolisa maunga kitikata maunga se me dakpe. Mi adi depe nou poto, mi akele me nou poto, zan nou poto, viviti me nou poto, audi dava me chi ava, avaglen, audi previo, dape me yo mi. E jagan, ba bodo vi me kuachi, a bodo bozuma, hala, obet to me, me yo apeli apek progodo, zagbaja fo vifo no. Me yo aflanga tise sebe, me no avango avaglen. Me yo sere gaji ba for keto be yo nu wa for veto, wa chire ku achire, boko obetu, me yo mi opete, me la peda, me yo senye, eseko poliko sera tafia, me la peda lo. Gongo di different poto keleme poto zan poto vivitime poto abochi sakra kame cho avabe adogo koto koli don ko kunmaku wa gbere ngbere to be yo ale acho o klable godogo ofo harana mi opeti di different poto me yo fa na go no afa gbo majizo because pepere to so le me da pa vidi yo pali gbe meji eku meji woli meji di meji lo so meji ngoni meji abla meji akla meji kuda meji sa meji ka meji triple meji tula meji lete meji che meji fu meji woli che tula me yo. Thank you all very much. May the blessings of the ancestors be with you throughout the week, and may they guide and guard you till we meet again. Thank you. Akpeka kaka. Yes.